Government officials are becoming increasingly hostile to faith-based individuals who want to foster and adopt. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of stories that have made the news about faith-based families who are refused their foster care license simply because of their religious beliefs. You need to know what's going on in America so that in whatever state you're in, you need to know if that state is hostile to you, if you're a believer, or if that state actually has legislation that is supportive of faith-based families fostering and adopting. Guys, the crazy thing is that states are constantly complaining that there's so many kids in foster care. We know there's a lot of kids in foster care who need foster homes. We know that. This is something that we've been hearing for decades. Yet, when it comes to actually placing these kids in a foster home, some states actually don't care enough about the kids to place them in a home that are faith-based. So let's talk about the very first state that's been sued because they refused to allow a faith-based woman to become a foster care parent. So the state is Oregon. Jessica became a widow, but she already had 5 biological children. And so after her husband died, Jessica decided that she wanted to open up her home to foster kids because she wanted to give back to her community. Well, Oregon basically told her that she needed to deny her Christian beliefs and affirm LGBTQ plus ideology. And of course, she said, no, I'm not going to do that. And because of that, Oregon refused to give her a foster care license. So Jessica sued Oregon. Now, the story is still unfolding, so we'll have to wait and see what happens in court for that specific case. The next state that's been sued is Massachusetts. Massachusetts constantly complains that children are sleeping in hallways of hospitals, that there's a shortage of foster parents. But when Mike and Kitty Berkey, who are Catholics, decided to become foster parents and give back to their community, Massachusetts told them no. Again, the same scenario of what happened in Oregon. Massachusetts said, you need to let us know that you're going to affirm gender confusion, that you're going to affirm LGBTQ plus ideology, that you're going to affirm, sex hormone changes if the child wants it. And if you're not going to do those things, then we can't give you your license. And so Mike and Kitty said, we would love any child the same. So if they come into our house and they say they're gay or lesbian, we're going to love them. But in our home, we're going to teach them our views, godly views, and what we believe. We're going to take them to church. We're going to do what we know is right, and we're not going to support sex change operations for a foster child. And because of that, Massachusetts refused to give Mike and Kitty their foster care license. And so Mike and Kitty sued Massachusetts. So on the one hand, Massachusetts is crying wolf. Hey, we have so many kids that need a foster home. And on the other hand, denying the people who are willing to open up their home simply because of their religious belief.
We're taking a closer look at the state of foster care in Massachusetts. So there is a very urgent need for more licensed foster parents. According to the latest numbers, there are between 8,000 to 9,000 children in the system, but only about 5,500 homes. Now, your organization has seen a significant drop in the number of homes over the past 20 years. Why is that, and how are you working to change it?
So we've seen this decline over the past 20 years. We've actually seen nearly a 70% drop in the number of licensed homes that we have, that we work with. But this trend has compounded, and first of all, that's a national trend as well. This is something we're seeing across the board.
Let me know in the comments what you think about that. New Jersey is a state that has been sued by a Christian family because they removed a foster child from this family after that child had been in their home for 1 full year. Can you guys imagine that? Your foster child has been in your home for a whole year. Now the state comes in and says, never mind, we're just gonna remove them. Not because you're abusing them, not because you're neglecting them, not because they're not safe here, simply because of your religious beliefs. Because you believe in God, we're just gonna take that kid from your home. And so we're gonna put the kid back in foster care, and we're gonna continue the cycle there because we just think that's a good idea. So that's what New Jersey decided to do. So Michael and Jennifer sued New Jersey, and thankfully the Court of Appeals of the Third Circuit ruled in their favor and recognized that they had a constitutionally protected religious belief and that New Jersey could not discriminate against them because of it. Washington State is another state who has been sued for discrimination against religious beliefs. So in this case, it was a couple who wanted to adopt their great-granddaughter out of foster care, and their great-granddaughter was an infant. And so the state asked them, you know, if the child grows up and wants to use preferred pronouns, if they decide that they're gay or lesbian, or if they decide that they want sex hormone changes, would you agree to it? And the couple said no, because she's an infant. Why would we give you these answers now? She's not 15, she's an infant. So no, we're not going to agree with those things and affirm those things for an infant. And because of our religious beliefs, we would not agree with that anyway. And because of that, the state refused to allow a biological member of the family to adopt their own family member out of foster care. Guys, this is nuts. They won't even let you adopt your own flesh and blood from foster care simply because of your religious beliefs. So if you live in these 4 states, Oregon, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Washington states, you need to be aware of these things, that these states are hostile against people who are Christians. If you hold religious beliefs, whether you're Catholic, Lutheran, whatever, as long as you believe in God and you have godly traditional values, these states are discriminating against you and they're refusing to allow you to have a foster care license. So you need to know that you can sue the state. You have the right to fight the state if they refuse to give you a foster care license simply because you're Christian. Not because you're abusive or neglective or there's anything in your criminal record. The only reason they're denying you is because you're Christian. If that's the case, you can definitely sue them. Just call a lawyer in your state and ask them to help. The government officials are not only discriminating against you as a person, they're also discriminating against faith-based adoption agencies like New Hope Family Services in New York. So New Hope Family Services only placed newborn babies in married couple that was a man and a woman only. So they did not place newborn babies in a home of gay couples. And because of that, New York State sued them. But thankfully, again, New Hope Family Services won in court, and they're still able to do what they're doing today. Thank God. The good news is that there are states who have actually passed legislation to protect foster care and adoption agencies that are faith-based, okay? And I'm gonna list some of those states here for you. Tennessee, South Dakota, Texas, Alabama, Virginia, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Mississippi. I'm so grateful for legislatures who are actually doing this amazing work and making sure that faith-based people are able to continue to foster care and adopt. So I'm telling you guys all of this to let you know that we are in a fight right now. We're in a fight not only to make sure that we are being loud about God, that we are living our faith out loud, we are loving people well, we're telling the truth with love, but that we're also going in our communities and we are being bold about helping the vulnerable children in our society as Christians. So we don't need to back away and try to, look like we don't believe in God or something just so you can do foster care. No, you need to be loud and bold about your beliefs, just like all these families were, because the kids that come in your home are gonna hear about God. That's what you're called to do. You're called to be a lighthouse. You're called to be a light on a hill. And the enemy is coming and attacking Christians. So you don't want your voice to be shut. We want to be loud in this hour, but obviously we want to do it with love. But if the state is coming at you and they're being aggressive or they're telling you that you can't be a foster parent, but you know that God has called you to, I'm encouraging you to fight back and to not just sit down and take it because it's not right, okay? So again, I wanna say thank you so much to all the states I listed at the beginning of this video who have passed legislation to ensure that faith-based families are not being discriminated against when it comes to foster care and adoption, but we still have so much work to do. So because we want all the rest of the 50 states to come on board. So petition your legislatures in your state, ask them to pass laws that do not discriminate against faith-based families when it comes to foster care and adoption, so more Christians all across the United States can do the work that God has called us to do without fear of being sued by the state or without fear of being denied a license just because of your faith. All right, that's it for today, guys. Again, please make sure to share this video and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.